Today I want to talk about one of the questions I get asked most often on social media in my DMs, which is, what do I need to start my journey in leathercraft? Because people see like my videos or other people's videos and they see all of these fancy tools, it can get really overwhelming really quickly. Different types of glues, knives, needles, threads, leathers, like it's endless. So I want to break it down to the simplest possible answer. And I'm going to show you how I got my start in leathercraft. And it started with this. This is a crazy cheap leathercraft kit from Amazon. It's not great, but is it enough to get you started on leathercraft? Well, you know, today we're actually going to put it to the test. I'm going to make something using just what's available in this kit. So let's take a look at what's inside. By the way, this kit cost just over $20. It was extremely affordable. A lot of items wrapped in plastic. But first, let's talk about what we're going to make. What I'm going to be making is, I call it the one-piece card holder because it's made from one piece of leather. It's one piece of leather folded on itself with a little bit of stitching. So we're not going to be doing any brass hardware, any zippers. I'm talking about a simple card holder with just some stitching and some folding. A really great project, great beginner project. And I'm going to be using this scrap of walnut Minerva. It's a veg tan Italian leather for that. So what are we going to be using from here? A wood slicker, some needles, some thread snippers, stitching irons, diamond stitching irons. This looks like a little scratch-all, a ruler, an X-Acto knife. This is like a multi-tool. You can use it to basically like kind of carve a line into your piece, which will ultimately tell you where your stitch line is. Edge bevel blades. Okay, last but not least, we have an assortment of threads. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is draw out our template. And for that, I'm going to be using our scratch-all. A little bit rough, but it definitely got the job done. So the next thing we will need is our ruler and X-Acto knife. Now, before I put the knife away, one thing I will do is I kind of want to round this corner and this corner. I just want to soften them out a little bit so they're not quite such hard cuts. Just like that. See how that looks a little softer now? Not bad. Now, normally what I would do is I would burnish this outside edge before folding it up with Tokonol. However, Tokonol did not come with this kit. So we are going old school and using water and the wood slicker. Let's see how that works. I gotta say though, that actually worked pretty well. Pretty happy with that. Okay, now I'm just gonna do a little practice fold. That looks pretty good. I'm using the scratch-all just to draw a mark. The reason why I'm drawing this mark is so I know to put glue only on this side of the mark and not on that side. Now, I will say glue does not come with this kit. It's the one essential item that you will need if you want to do Leathercraft. I use Dual 88. You can use whatever glue you like. This one just happens to work best for me. So before I put glue on this or on these, I need to scuff this up. There is a Leathercraft tool specifically for that, but of course it did not come with this kit. So I'm going to use this blade and just scuff it up a little bit. I'm going to start by gluing just these two sides first. Now, normally I would also probably hammer this down a little bit so it lays a little bit flatter, but there is no hammer in this kit, so I'm just going to use my finger, press it down. Okay. Now we're going to add glue. Oh, you know what? We should scuff this side up too. I just realized. Can't remember if I mentioned this, but the reason we scuff is so that the glue has something to grab onto. If you just put the glue straight on the leather, a lot of these leathers have waxy finishes. It'll just peel right off. We want it to hold. All right. Okay, fold it over. So far, so good. Okay, I think the next thing we need to do is draw our stitch line. So in order to do that, we will need this tool here, but we need to make some changes. Okay, first I need to change the bit that's on here, and in order to do that, there's a little Allen wrench. And now I'm going to put this guy back in. And now what this allows me to do is I can run the edge of this over the leather, and the flat bit will draw the line. Okay, so I'm going to draw my stitch line now. Okay. Okay, this tool is tricky. Slip me up a little bit right there. Tricky tool. Very, very tricky tool. You know what? I was just about to use this punch pad, and then I realized punch pads didn't come with this kit, so I'm not going to use them. So what I will do, you can use an old piece of scrap leather to put underneath your piece. Now the reason is you don't want to punch down into this pad. One, it'll ruin your pad. Two, it'll also dull your stitching irons. So I really recommend not punching straight into your pad if you can help it. All right. These are sharp. I can feel they're very sharp. A hammer. A hammer did not come with this kit, but like the glue, there is no way to get this into this without a hammer. So I guess that's one thing. This kit comes with everything you'll need except glue and a hammer so far. We'll see if there's anything else. Tricky to get those out. I'm just looking to make sure that I went all the way through. Ooh, see, that went into my punch pad a little bit. Don't need to go that hard. Oh man, these are tough to get out. Holy smokes. Okay, stitching irons are very difficult to get out of the leather. Man, oh man. Okay. I'm not gonna lie. That stitching iron kind of chewed up my leather. The back looks okay, but man, the metal is very sticky. Once they go in, they do not want to come out. Okay. Oh, right, you know what? I was gonna use my stitching pony for the next part, but this kit did not come with a stitching pony, so I guess I'm gonna do this the leapfrog way. I think I'm gonna use this needle and this needle. We're gonna use the snips they gave us. And we'll go in and then through. Okay, there's one. Go in and through. Okay. You stick one of the ends of the thread in, then the next one. Then you have to hold that one down. Push this one in through the same hole, and then forward to the next one. Then you hold that one down and do it again. It's tricky. Normally I would use a stitching pony for this because it makes it faster and cleaner, but there's nothing wrong with this method. I wish I could describe it better. Actually, you know, I'll give a little shout out to Quarter Leather, Quarter with a C. If I remember correctly, he does a great video on this sort of leapfrog stitch style. He's kind of known for that. He doesn't have a stitching pony either. I wish I could remember his name. But the name of the company is Quarter Leather, and they got some great YouTube videos. I'll give them a quick shout out. Okay, time for the snippers. I just realized one more thing you'll need that doesn't come with the kit. A lighter or matches. I'm going to use the flame to seal those two pieces of thread. Now, a lot of people have a bone folder to kind of get rid of the glue that's in here that might be holding some of the edges down. You can use this. You can use the wood slicker. Go in there and just unfold all that. Now, this is looking pretty good. You might be thinking, are we done? No, we're not. We need to edge bevel this edge, burnish the bottom, and then we're done. These all look, honestly, these all look very much the same. This one looks maybe a little bit deeper, so what the heck, let's go with that. Okay. So the idea is to get rid of the hard edge here. Let's see if this works. I'm actually shocked at how well that works. That's incredible. That did a really good job. Okay. There's a win for the edge beveler. Okay, now we're going to hit this with a little bit of water. And our wood slicker. When burnishing, we're looking for that snapping sound. Basically what this burnishing is doing is it's the friction from the wood slicker and the water is bringing some of those oils to the surface, and it's taking that rough edged leather and turning it into a kind of a polished, glossy finish, which is obviously, you know, much more pleasing to the touch and the eye. It just looks a lot better, it feels a lot better, feels more finished. There it is. There's the finished piece. Is it perfect? No. No, I think the thread and the stitching could be a little bit better. I think the holes being punched could be a lot better. If I was using this kit for myself, the very first thing I would replace is the stitching irons. Those would, like, immediately. The second thing I would replace is instead of what I use to draw the stitch line, that funky multi-tool, I'll just go on Amazon for like 12 bucks. You can buy a nice pair of these calipers. Also, this ruler, it worked okay, but it's the scratch hazard is real, so get yourself a nice cork bottomed one. The X-Acto knife blade, not bad, that's fine. The thread itself, not bad. The needles, I like to have 2 needles that match. It's hard to find 2 matching needles in this kit. But honestly, the #1 thing would be the stitching irons. Everything else, I think I could be pretty well up and running. Now, one piece of supplementary gear, as we mentioned, you have to have glue, you have to have a hammer, you have to have a lighter. Those don't come with a kit, but if you want to be able to make something like this or any other wallet, you just need that. Something that I have that I think would be helpful is a stitching pony. Your piece goes in here, you lock it down, and that way your hands are free to do a proper saddle stitch. The leapfrog stitch that I did with this, while it does work, it's slow, it's cumbersome, and honestly, just looking at the stitch, I don't think it's as good of a stitch as using a stitching pony. But there you have it. $20 Amazon Leathercraft kit can yield totally decent results if you're willing to just kind of muscle through it. And in terms of beginning leathercraft, someone who's just getting into it, yeah, this is the perfect kit. And it's very similar to the kit that I started. This might even be the kit that I started with. And then one by one, you replace things. You replace the stitching irons, but you still use everything else. Then you replace your calipers and use everything else. And slowly, one by one, project by project, you have a whole new set of tools. But it kind of all starts with a kit like this. So yes, I think a Leathercraft kit like this is a great place to start, and I would recommend it to anybody who's just getting into leathercraft. The more you like it, the more you do it, the more you can upgrade. So hope that was helpful. Please like, subscribe, share. It helps the YouTube channel. I very much appreciate it, and I'll see you at the next one.